So Argent is the first smart wallet, or at least we believe we are one of the first, what we call smart wallet. As a team, we believe highly in the vision of Web3 as a more decentralized internet, but we're also aware there are key issues. I mean, I think most of you must have an Ethereum wallet. Who here had to back up his seed on a piece of paper? Just to get an idea, so yeah, okay. Who believes that the future of crypto and of finance should be with a backup on paper?
The dog ate the paper.
Okay, so I think we all agree there are core problems if we want Web3 to happen. So too easy to lose assets, whether it's because you lose your piece of paper, your dog, or because of a custodian being hacked. It's super scary to transact, a typo on a long public address and you lose your assets. And wallet can't really connect to dApps. There are some early solutions, but it's not there yet. So we built Argent to solve that. So we made a wish list on what should a good non-custodian wallet be. Basically, can it be as good as Revolut, Monzo, etc., but still be a non-custodian wallet? So some of the feature we wanted is freezing your account. So you lose your wallet, you should be in some way, or someone steal it, should be able to freeze it. Recover your account if you lose your phone. We are very, by the way, I didn't mention it should be on mobile. We think that's the way forward. So don't rely on a paper backup and still be able to recover your wallet, your account. Block fraudulent transaction. Someone accesses your online banking, makes a fraudulent transaction. It's likely that they will call you and you will be able to block it. Having system like daily transaction limit, security on your device, obviously, but also simplicity. So don't deal really with cryptic address. Have trusted contact. Don't deal with gas. I think it's quite complex to think about gas all the time. And so, I mean, the answer to the question, can it be done, is yes, if you use smart contract. So we have built a smart contract-based wallet. And I'll jump to a demo straight away, but basically some of the key elements of it is you do not back up your seed phrase on paper. You can lose your private key, basically. So your funds are on your smart contract, it's yours, you are the owner, we have no ability to interact with it. And then you define guardians. Guardians can be other people that you trust, can be a hardware wallet. If you have $1 million worth of crypto, you can have 3 hardware wallets in 3 locations acting as guardian, can be any account. If you lose, they don't have access to your money, they don't have a piece of your private key, they have their own account and they can launch recovery procedure in case of trouble. Also, you don't pay gas, you don't have, well, we abstract gas, so we can pay it for you, we can let you pay gas in DAI instead of ETH, or a Dapp could pay for the gas for their own users. And we prevent theft with a system of trusted contacts. So I'll try to jump to a live mobile demo. So I need to stay around here. Can you see my phone? Okay, so I'll launch Argent. Looks like a wallet. I have my ETH, I have some other token. We have some key feature, for example, the ability, we have an exchange, decentralized. So I had 0 BAT on my wallet. I'll buy 10 BAT, done. The transaction is being mined. It takes 3 seconds. I'm done. Transaction is in progress. And that's it. And that's decentralized. So we use Kyber network, a decentralized exchange, and pretty slick. And so it starts with that. Then, of course, we have all the security feature I mentioned. So adding a guardian is not very complex. If I want to add, for example, Matthew, which is with me, I think that's you, Matthew. I want to add him as a guardian, so I literally click here, add Matthew as a guardian, invite, and that's kind of all I have to do. It takes me 2 seconds. For the guardian to be effective, in fact, it will take 24 hours. There's a lot of security measure so that someone doesn't suddenly add 20 guardians. Where it gets interesting is suddenly when you start making transactions. So the first thing you see is I don't really deal with addresses. So in my case, if you look at Itamar, that's my address, but I have itamar.argent.xyz. So everyone has an ENS, it's free. You join Arjun and you get your username.argent. So super easy to deal with. Then if I want to make transactions, so for example, if I want to send to Matthew here, 0.01 doesn't need too much. The fee is free. I don't have to deal with gas. I'm sending, done, the transaction is being mined. But then back to security features. So many of you had an Ethereum wallet. Can someone pull out a QR code of an Ethereum address? And I'll send you 22 ETH. So it's worth. But you need to come here because I'm locked with a cable. So if someone can come here with a QR code, we'll send the person the money, him or her. Anyone? Okay. So you're not being fast enough. So let's take that one. I'll take your phone. Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me give you permission.
Oh, it's an Argent wallet. That's nice. So here I take his QR code. I will send some ETH. Here I do a QR code. It's live. So you see I'm scanning this. Okay. I'll send 20. I'll do use max. Continue. I'm sending. So what's happening at smart contract level? It's above. So it's above my daily limit. So in my case, I think I've put a daily limit of 10 ETH. Above 10 ETH, but it can be anything I choose. It's above my daily limit, so I can go ahead, and the transaction will take 24 hours. So let's say you had access to my phone or literally to my private key, and you interact straight with the smart contract, and you try to drain my account. At smart contract level, it will say, okay, it's not a trusted address. It's above your daily limit. It will take 24 hours. I get alerted. I can come back and cancel a transaction. Let's say it was the first time I wanted to interact with that address, and I really wanted to make a transaction, and I want it to be instant. I can send with Guardians. So in the case of a trusted address, I'll take Gerald, my co-founder. I send Gerald 22 ETH, and it's going straight away. It's happening. So really that flexibility, security, simplicity, and I think in a nutshell, I covered the core feature of the Argent wallet. But there's more. So I'll get back to my presentation. I didn't go to the entire recovery procedure, but basically if you lose your wallet, it's very simple. You click recover. You ask your guardian if there are other people to approve the recovery. And if it's your hardware wallet, you plug it, you do it. So basically your guardian are really only useful in case of emergency. You can get back. No. So on desktop, we just have a page where you can plug your hardware wallet if you want to launch some procedure. If you don't have, if you need to freeze your wallet or launch a recovery. So it's really just a signing page to use your hardware wallet. But that's not where you manage your wallet. Everything is mobile. But we enable interaction with dApps on the desktop, and I'll get to that. So few engineers in the room, so I will say a few words on how it works. High level, the private key is in your phone. There's a private key in your phone, obviously. There's no ETH, there's no assets on that private key. It's just used to sign intent. So with that private key, you sign a message, you say, okay, I want to make a transaction. It's relayed to the blockchain, it arrives to your wallet. When I say wallet, it's really the smart contract. It's yours. We cannot do anything with it. And the smart contract sees an intent, an order coming from signed by a key. If that key is the owner, that the wallet will execute. And that's really, we call that meta transaction. And that's really what enables a lot of abstraction, a lot of simplicity, and also that's how we can pay for the gas. There's no magic. It's really we pay for the transaction to send that to the blockchain. Where it gets interesting is that today we have implemented 3 types of keys. You have the owner, so really he has full access to the wallet. The owner has full wallet management capabilities. We have the guardians that I mentioned, so they have their own key, but at smart contract level, they are set as guardians, and they only have a very limited subset of feature they can access around security. So freezing your wallet, accelerating a transaction, and launching a recovery procedure. But then you can have a third type of key, which we call a Dapp key. And there we can set custom policies. And that's really where we started thinking about the Dapp experience, which is really our end goal. So like for the wallet, we made the wish list of the Dapp experience. First, we think the wallet is really your control center. That's where everything starts. You should be in control of your asset, your identity, your data. So if you have a type of Facebook login experience, there shouldn't be a middleman in the middle. You should own all this information. It should work on the web, obviously, but also on mobile. A lot of MetaMask is okay, but I mean, the future is not happening on desktop, it's really happening on mobile. And it shouldn't be a web view, it should be in any browser you want, it should work in a native app, should work anywhere. When we won't stop using mobile apps, we won't stop using mobile browser for crypto. And you shouldn't switch constantly between your Dapp and your wallet, ideally. So for some activity you might want, for some you should have that freedom for the activity to happen anywhere. No need to own ETH. So if I want to buy a house at $1 million, was it 1.3 million DAI, the transaction. So one transaction, 1.3 million DAI, you shouldn't have to bother, or CHF, you shouldn't have to bother about having some ETH to pay for the gas. And then we need to protect you from scammy dApps. A lot of work has been done in Argent to protect your wallet, daily limits. We shouldn't open suddenly breaches because of the Dapp. And UX should be as good as Web 2.0 UX. So I'll jump to another demo, which weirdly branded, but we were at the conference at CC Paris last week, so we did a specific Dapp for Paris. We created a Dapp where you basically check in HCC Paris. So you see I have MetaMask, so it works the same way it works. I have MetaMask, I have connect with Arjun. So I will click connect with Arjun. I'm presented with a QR code. I'm back in the app. I go on the identity tab, you can see. And I will connect an app or device. Again, it's live. Scanning the QR code. And think about that as your Facebook login page. So Argent, HCC wants to connect to your wallet. And we authorize one function. We authorize checked in at HCC. So I have created a key. I connect it now to my wallet, but can only do one thing, which is calling that method check at HCC. It cannot send ETH. It cannot do, and in that case, we gave it no rights at all. I approve. So now I leave my phone here. I'm away. I'm connected on my Dapp. The phone stays in my pocket. It's completely disconnected. I'm on Chrome. I click check in, and now there's a transaction happening. So I didn't need to validate it on my phone. There was a key that was sent to the browser, so extremely insecure in some way. That key is now out there, but that key has no power. That key can only do one thing, which is that check-in. It takes time. It's mining now. Again, I didn't need to worry about gas, and I can do 3 check-in if I want. Maybe we can come back at the end to see how this went. So this model is very flexible. So as you can imagine, I'm not going to buy a house with a key that I sent you and then it's there in the browser and you don't know how secure it is. So we have a model where you can approve transaction on your phone, highly secure, or if it's more things about games, think about light or maybe voting, light touch type of action can happen straight on the browser in a native app anywhere. Again, high level, some of the security feature, a Dapp key can only be used for the set of actions you approved. So think about it again as approving an app with Facebook login, but really it's happening in a fully decentralized way. In your smart contract, you have full control. They can handle token transfer, but then there will be a daily limit, specific daily limit for these keys that are in some way less secure. You can authorize any Dapp, but there will be a 24 hours time delay if it's not in a registry. So because we are being very careful right now, we don't want someone to create a Dapp that in fact the only thing it does is create a lot of transactions to steal all your tokens from ERC20 contracts or something dodgy. So if you have a relationship with us, we create a registry. Today we own that registry, but the goal is to make it a public ecosystem registry where everyone can contribute to make sure these dApps don't have malicious functions, because we also know users might not, they won't read a smart contract to see if they should approve or not this method. But if you are not in that registry, then it takes 24 hours. And that prevents, again, someone taking your phone, quickly approving a Dapp that is malicious to steal your funds. And then user can decide what actions happen on the phone versus what action happens on the browser or on the other app, meaning critical actions should happen on your phone, probably if it's high value transaction. How to integrate with Argent? I won't go into details, especially I'm not capable of going into all these details. It's literally 10 lines of code. Right now we are still working hand in hand with Dapp developers, so we meet them, we see what are their needs, and we make sure the whole experience is smooth, and we help you with the integration. But literally, if you have MetaMask, it takes few minutes to integrate Argent. Basically, you import your R SDK, you define your configuration, which is literally send us your logo, whatever text values you want to appear in Argent. As simple as that. You add the button, the component, and then we send. You will receive the Web3 provider directly from the SDK. One more demo. This one I'll do here in video because it's not yet live. Well, a lot to tweak. But as I mentioned, this shouldn't be a desktop-only experience. So our model works, in fact, anywhere. I click Connect with Arjun. I arrive in Arjun. I authorize my key, and I'm back. So on mobile, I'm back here. It's working. I can do my check-in. And would work in a native mobile app, would work in a desktop native app, can work in a smart TV. Basically, we can send a key to your smart TV that can start doing blockchain transaction. Works anywhere. Yeah. So I think that's it. What's next for the wallet? So we are live on iOS. You can download it. There is a wait list. We pay for every new smart contract. We are letting people bit by bit in. But you can download it on iOS, and probably within 2-3 weeks you'll be in. Just go on argent.xyz. It's worth doing it anyway because you can reserve your ENS. But you will get in very soon. Android will start whitelisting people in April. You can still download it on Android, reserve your ENS, but you will be whitelisted only in April. We are adding fiat to crypto, so that really onboarding to dApps is even easier. I download Argent, I get my first crypto in, and I can start enjoying this new world. Android, I mentioned, will add wallet privacy. You'll be able to load your wallet with our own ZK Snark solution. So if you want to send money from your ledger and you don't want people to know how much money you have on your ledger, we can bring anonymity there. We are right now really on board. The goal is to onboard the first 100 dApps. We don't think there are 1,000 dApps that are having traction right now. We want to find, to be honest, the first 10 and then 100, handpick them, work with them, fine-tune the experience to their need. So we should definitely talk. UKs, we know we already support it because we work on a security token offering platform, which I think is a similar use case. There will be more DeFi dApps. You mentioned Maker, but you will be able to create a Maker CDP in one tap from Argent. You will be able to put liquidity into Uniswap in one tap. Super smooth, super easy. And we're working also on interoperability with other initiatives in the ecosystem. Those who know Wallet Connect and Universal Login, Argent Connect is in fact a mix of both solutions, so we're working closely with them. Download Argent, that's really my last thing. Oh yeah, very important, we are hiring. And they are mostly engineers right now, so for the front of the room. We are a remote team of 14 people. Everyone is based in Europe. Matthew and I are based here in Soho. So very flexible model. We see each other a lot. Every quarter we spend a week all together, so it's really fun. But a lot of flexibility. We are well funded by great investors. We are hiring a senior Android engineer, senior Java backend engineer. So if that's you, we would love to talk to you. Come see us after, or just go on argent.xyz and you'll find us there. Yeah.
That was a fantastic live product demo. I actually thought you were going to do someone's night then. Shame anyway. But questions, guys. Let's have gentlemen at the very back. Right, I'm going to start with you.
How do you plan to make money from this?
Always about money. So we think there are a lot of interesting business models for wallets. Short term, we have a decentralized exchange. We get part of the fee, so there's already something. Fiat to crypto will add a new business model. So for us, really, we believe the more asset in wallet, the more opportunity. These are short term today, which is the main business model in the space. I think staking will bring a lot of new business model too, when you will be able to stake from your wallet in one tap. There are other interesting things at the Dapp level. So today our solution fully free for dApps, but we are considering an offering where, for example, dApps can subsidize gas for their users, and for that they will pay a subscription to Argent. So these are more exploratory. We are not rushing too fast. We want the next 10, 100 million of users coming to the space. So there are short-term options, more longer-term options there. Yeah.
Hi, yeah, I've got the mic. I'm up here, corner. So your product looks great, and this is just an idea which you're free to throw away if you like. But from a design point of view, it would make sense for me as a crypto user to have some kind of RFID-enabled device that I could load up via my phone and then tap as and when that became an option within retail consumer world. So that, as it were, the bridge to the mainstream would almost be accessible via something I could charge up, much like those credit cards that you can take away with limited cash on. So then now I could transfer, give to people, and I could purchase the tokens for literally an RFID coin, as it were, that I could tap and go purchase.
Yeah, so I think an even simpler, it's an interesting solution. You could basically create a virtual debit card, virtual prepaid card in your iOS wallet or Google Wallet equivalent. I would say easy to do. It's more a question of regulation that comes with that. There are solutions, people implementing that, where you load a prepaid card with your wallet. It's part of the ideas around, I agree. It's an interesting use case. We are, I would say, short-term more focused on decentralized finance and peer-to-peer payment. But that's definitely, now that the core wallet is built, we want to build more use case around it. Yeah.
Hi, Itamar. Looks absolutely amazing. How do you go about onboarding, starting to onboard users after what happened with parity? How do we get to a point where we can trust smart contract apps? I mean, I'm sure there's a way, and I want to. What are you doing around that, and what sort of assurance do you?
It's a good question. So the parity hack happened. I think I was literally sitting in VC meeting room pitching Argent. So it happened that day or that week. And so for a year, it's been more than a year we are building this. We were, to be honest, very worried. So we did audit with 3 different auditors. We are onboarding users slowly so they can see more assets in wallet. And strangely, no one asked us anything. So we're really surprised. So one thing is the audit. In the future, I would love also insurance. But what we did, literally, and we spent a year and a half ago, we already had that app working with our design, but we spent a year rewriting our smart contract. So what you get with Argent, and I removed these slides, I didn't think there would be a lot of engineers, but basically you get a super simple base wallet, less than 100 lines of code. So that's where your funds are. And then you attach modules. So right now we have a module for Guardians, a module for the lock manager to lock your wallet, a module for exchange, little plugins. So there are 7 smart contracts right now that you decide to include in your base wallet, and it makes it extremely easy, relatively easy to audit. I mean, it's still Solidity. I wouldn't say extremely easy, but it's relatively, you have a lot of very, very simple smart contract. When we started with our first version, no one would have audited that. And that, I think, the problem with a lot of the smart contract there. What we do is a quite very new way of doing dealing with architecture smart contract. We didn't invent it. It was Nick Johnson from Ethereum Foundation. He was the first one to review our contracts, and then we looked together a better way. And we knew we couldn't update them indefinitely with the way they were structured. There would be too much. I mean, they wouldn't fit into a block. So I think simplicity of the smart contract and battle testing them. Let's say that way, if you can't trust smart contract, we should all stop what we are doing. There is no future for the space. So I think we trust software from banks that are much worse, not very bad, well written. We trust them every day. So far the audit has been really good. And we have funds in the wallets, and we have also run a bug bounty. I would say that was also a big part for it. Yeah.
The most reassuring bit of that was Nick Johnson.
we wanted that, but there were other very good auditors.
So About the trusted contacts that you said, can they autonomously initiate the wallet recovery without your permission if they wanted to?
So, guardians. Trusted contact is just you whitelisting contacts. So guardians, theoretically, guardians could harm you. So if you have one guardian and he decides to harm you, you are strong and you have access to your wallet, then no, it's fine. But if you lose access to your wallet, your one guardian steal your phone and then launch a recovery, it could harm you. So choosing guardians is very, very important. Sorry?
They need access to their phone.
Yeah, you need to attack either several guardians. You cannot attack one guardian and get the money. No, you need to either lose your phone or attack several guardians. So you can have more than one guardians. And what we see is also people being their own guardian. So you can be your own guardian with a hardware wallet. Also, we offer a custodian service, not for your private key. We have other private key, and you can say, okay, that key will be a guardian. You will have two-factor, and you will take this action. But again, if we are hacked and our keys are taken, your funds are not there. So if you still have access to your phone, nothing will happen. So, and we play a lot on time delays. A recovery takes 3 days, actually. So you have a lot of time to act. So if someone was doing, I don't know, a social attack, tell your family member they are you and they accept a recovery, you get alerted, you see it, you can go back to them and cancel that recovery.
Another question. How do you map those addresses, a private key to those XYZ subdomains that you use?
So we use ENS. So that's really the Ethereum name service. It's all happening on chain. Sorry? Ethereum name service, which is Nick Johnson's project. Literally once an ENS is created, we cannot do anything. So we cannot reassign it. We cannot. So if, for example, you lose your wallet, you don't put funds, you didn't put guardians, this ENS is lost forever. We have no control. Once it's set, it's really part of. It's happening all on chain. Yeah.
And the last question.
And the part about XYZ, that's just a new thing. Ethereum ENS has enabled XYZ domains first, and now they've enabled 1,000 type of domains. So, yeah.
So you said you pay for the gas fees yourself. How do you defend against DOS attack? Some malicious actor trying to join?
So first, right now, and we plan to evolve that. When you register with Argent, you have a phone verification. We don't. Just to make sure you create only one account. So with one phone number, you can only create one account. We avoid a million accounts being created. We don't do that much to prevent you doing 1 million transactions right now, but it's very easy. Basically, what we say is you have free transactions with a fair usage policy. To be fair, we didn't yet define it, but at some point there will be per user a max amount per month to really prevent that. Oh, and by the way, so technically we have the ability, the user, it will still work. It's just the user at some point, instead of free offered by Argent, will see that, so the smart contract can pay for the gas too. We have that ability to get back the money from the user. If the user, so after your limit of, let's say, $5 amounts of gas, you can still make transaction, but you will start paying for your own transaction. So really the model is flexible. We wouldn't, for example, subsidize a transaction to someone else, Dapp. That's not our, we only subsidize everything within Argent, and you can still pay for your transaction the normal way.
So it's only currency transactions, or you can call smart contracts. In that case, you might run out of
So right now, transfer, anything within the app, so decentralized exchange, when we have MakerDAO, Uniswap, all that will be free. But if you interact with a very expensive smart contract, Sorry? Exactly. You will pay your own gas, or a very expensive mixer that costs 600,000 gas. You would pay your own gas. Yeah.
Cool. Last question, then, please.
What is your backend, or are you running your own infrastructure?
Yeah. So we, in terms of stack, you mean our backend is a Java backend on AWS.
The servers, are you using localhost, Infura?
Okay, on that. So we have our own infrastructure because we orchestrate a lot of transactions, we relay transactions. We still use Infura. We have a strategy to bit by bit decentralize pieces. So step one will be to have Infra plus another provider. And then next step is to have our own nodes. And then next step is not only us, but also once we start working with dApps, is dApps to have part of the infrastructure so that people don't just rely on our own infrastructure. Yeah. But with your private key, you could still go on my Ether wallet, interact with your smart contract, it would work. So we are the first decentralization test we did is walk-away test. We should be able to disappear. The experience will be more painful, but you still have access to your funds.
Thank you very much as well. We'll leave it there, and ladies and gentlemen,